Coach's Corner, brought to you by our friends at From the Heart Cafe out in Chapel Hill. From the Heart Cafe is keeping you fed and happy in Marshall County. If you're making your way to a Forest game, maybe, or just to Henry Horton, or just for the drive out there, it's worth it.
And I was through there last Friday, and Renee gave me some catering menus, or a catering menu that I meant to bring in and refer to during this segment, and it's still over my visor, unfortunately. Sorry, Renee. But From the Heart Cafe does catering, and
they do.
We'll probably be doing some Thanksgiving meals as well. So be sure and check in with them on that. And our guest probably has a little familiarity with From the Heart Cafe over in Chapel Hill. Certainly has some familiarity with Chapel Hill. Matt Kriesky.
Yes. How y'all doing? I appreciate y'all having me on today.
Well, we appreciate you coming on with us, Coach, to talk about your 7-1, number 5 in the state, Centennial Cougars.
Yes, sir. I think we've surprised a few folks this year. Kids have been playing well. I knew going into the season this year, if things started clicking and we started doing things that I thought we could be able to do, we'd be able to have a successful season. The guys bought in on our schemes, both offensively and defensively, and we've been able to get some things done this year and surprise a few folks.
It's been a climb for you with this program to this point, and in the region that you play in, 7-6A, it's not easy. What do you attribute the success to as you look back over your tenure at Centennial in particular?
Well, I think, one of the things, either, through our down years that here's either we've had some skill guys that play really well, or we've had some, we've been fortunate this year. We've had both. Our 5 starting offensive linemen have most of them been playing since their sophomore year, if not their junior year. So these 5 offensive linemen that we have are seniors. They're mixed in with our skilled kids who are mainly juniors and a sophomore. So we finally got a good mix, a good group of not just one group, just a whole 11 that we can count on. So we're very fortunate. In this league, you got to have top guys week in and week out to compete. We've had great kids come through the program. We just haven't had enough to take the gauntlet of the region.
And that's a good way to refer to it, a gauntlet, when you talk about Independence, Brentwood, Ravenwood, all of whom have been to the Blue Cross Bowl here in recent memory. Obviously a Franklin team that has had some success as well. And can't forget Summit. They're not having the year that they have become used to, but gauntlet is a pretty good description for that, I would say. And Matt, I want to ask you, I don't know how much stock should be put in 7-on-7 play, but you guys won the Riverdale 7-on-7 tournament back earlier this summer. I'm always reminded, I was walking off of a field after one of those events years ago with Tony Brunetti, the coach over at Pearl Cone, and he said, everything changes when you put the pads on. But what did you guys take out of that? I mean, that's a high-powered event there. You guys won it. What did that mean to you guys in terms of what you've been able to accomplish in 11-on-11 this year?
Well, that's the main focus is our skill kids. Majority of our skill kids play both ways, and a lot of them are new at the position they're playing. So we were able to kind of build a group that kind of working together. We were still figuring things out, and then that Riverdale 7-on-7 gave us the confidence. And as we moved forward, the next week putting the pads on, as confidence in our skill position, because we knew up front that the guys, knew what to do, knew what's going on, but we were just kind of worried about, we had to transfer in from New Orleans, Jaden George, so he was still learning his way, learning things that are going on. You know, we've moved Dominic Reed around at times. Kanai Johnson, we've moved around. But so those guys were able to learn different positions and it helped them out as we got into move forward for the season. And it's helped them out because we've been able to move Dom and Kanai and Tanner and all these guys around during the year because what they learned during the summer during the 7-on-7s to help us out. It's not like they're going in a new week learning a whole new position.
That makes a big difference. It really does. Now, some of these guys that you do have, like Tanner Lee and Kanai Johnson, those guys are just that they've been workhorses all year. And what does it do for this for your team to have the ability to just get guys in space and let them work?
You know, as you know, we talked about the region. You know, it's a tough physical league, so we're able to spread the ball around and not just focus on one guy the entire time. You know, we're able to spread defenses out because we've had multiple guys that we play. You know, Tanner Lee's not just the main focal point. You know, they have to worry about Dominic Reed, Kanai Johnson, Jaden George. You know, offensively, Brendan Jones has done a great job moving the ball around for us. He's done great. You know, he's pretty much started the past 3 years for us. So he's done a really good job this season for us. And then also, you know, our defense has played well this year too. You know, we got guys up front. Keegan Scruggs anchoring the defensive line for us. He's done a great job so far. Inside linebackers, Matthew Rowan and Caleb Workman, done great. We also have Xavion Haddix, who plays for us defensively, but also he's able to spill Tanner at times. And when he's coming at Tanner, he's a different back than Tanner. He's more of a downhill runner. He's going to try to run you over. But one of the big things I've noticed, these guys, you know, it's just not about an individual. They just want to win. And that's one of the big things, is the big change and the big culture change. When people ask me, you know, they're not caring about who's scoring a touchdown. They want to represent this Centennial School, this community, and show people that we belong in this league and we fit in with everybody else.
Matt Kriesky, the coach at Centennial High School, joining us here on Coach's Corner, presented by From the Heart Cafe over in Chapel Hill. Matt, I was in the barbershop on Tuesday. You know, I live in Franklin, and I was listening to a couple of guys talking about Centennial football, and they mentioned Keegan Scruggs. Talk a little bit more about what he's brought to you guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Well, with Keegan, you know, he's one. We can move him. He can play interior. He can play inside for us. He also can play on the edge for us. But Keegan's very athletic for a defensive lineman. He's hard to block. You know, so he provides. You know, I tell Keegan all the time, you know, if he has his mindset right and everything's going right, I don't think anyone can block him on any play. You know, he's very you know, with his athleticism and then his power. He's very, you know, he's bought in the weight room since he got healed up last year, and you know, he's gotten stronger. You can just tell his body's changing. You know, I just wish he was a little bit taller, because I promise you, if he was a little bit taller, there'd be all kinds of colleges knocking on his door. But I'm hoping that here in the next year or two, there's going to be a school that's going to take a chance on him, because they're going to get a great young man who loves to practice, high energy, and just has fun every day.
Coach, it's homecoming week. You've got Laverne coming to your place tomorrow night. It's a non-region game, and you don't want to overlook anybody, but there is a four-way tie at the top of Region 7 6A between you all, Brentwood, Ravenwood, and Independence, and all of y'all play each other in week 11. You go to Brentwood, Ravenwood goes to Independence, and basically the situation all the way around is win and you host the first round. Again, you don't want to look past Laverne. How do you get your kids focused this week and then get them ready for a huge ball game next Friday night?
Well, we brought them in on Sunday, started preparing for Laverne. You know, I think one of the things that got their attention was last Thursday night, the Overton and Laverne game. You know, we played Overton the first game of the year. We know how tough and physical that team was. With them beating Overton, I think it was 33 to 12, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that got the guys' attention. So that kind of helped us out. And I know they're ready. They want to win, and they want to take care of business. And then we want to, after Friday night, that's when we want to start turning our entire focus to Brentwood. Our first goal this year was to get in the playoffs. And once we felt like we secured a playoff spot, then our next goal on the list was to get a home game. So now we're working towards that. And again, these guys want to get another home playoff game. The underclassmen want to get it for the seniors. The seniors want to get another home game again before the season's over with.
Speaking to Scott Stidham, the first-year coach over at Independence, I guess it was last week, and he kind of put it in focus for everybody. None of y'all wants to get on a bus and go to Memphis first Friday night in November.
No, sir, we sure don't. That's a long trip. So we would rather be hosting, playing at home. So I know. After we do what we're supposed to do Friday night, that we'll turn our attention, and the guys will be ready for Brentwood, so we can get that home game and get us another opportunity to play at home in front of our home crowd, and in front of our student section, and the entire community here at Centennial.
Before we let you go, Matt, as Chris mentioned earlier in the show, the TSSAA released enrollment numbers and projected classifications for the next 2-year period, 23-24, 24-25. Y'all's numbers dictate that you would be 5A for football going back down. Do you all have any plans to stay up, or do you think you'll go 5A as those numbers would dictate, or do you know a plan yet for Centennial football?
Well, as of right now, we plan on going down to 5A. That's one thing Dr. Dice and I met about once the numbers came out. You look at the history of Centennial, you look at the most success Centennial has in football throughout the school's history, was when they were in 5A. And so we're still going to play the Williamson County teams. I've already talked to, Coach Coleman, Coach Stidham, Coach Melton, Coach Hester. So, we're still going to keep those rivalries and play those games, because those are important games to play for our kids in our community. But there's as of right now, unless something changes, we plan to drop down to 5A next year.
All right.
Makes sense, Coach. We appreciate you taking some time with us today. We just we're looking forward to seeing you guys finish up this season in the last couple of weeks and what you guys do in the playoffs.
I appreciate y'all having me on. Thank you. And Mo, make sure you tell Coach Wild hi for me next time you see him.
I'll be sure and do that, Matt. It's good talking to you, man. Thanks. Good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Mo. Thanks, Chris. See y'all.
Well, we'll make sure we do that over our next meeting 3.
We-
maybe at From the Heart Cafe.